Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Black Gay Perspective. Unfortunately, the doll is not here with us today, so you have to put up with me and my MAGA and Republican stuff. So, Jamie and Greg, I hope
we
you guys
don't have to put up with anything.
That's
to
right.
be
This is a
honest.
free country, so you don't have to. How you two been
Free.
doing?
I've been doing good. How you been?
I've been good. Been good. I did a 10-mile run that was very challenging.
When?
October 8th, 19th.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel like every time we catch up, you always
Yeah,
running.
I'm running.
This was my homegirl idea, so
Uh-huh.
she asked me to run with her.
So you
She wants to do a 15. That's why I'm gonna think about that one.
A 15
15 miles.
mile.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the 10, it wasn't so bad. Like we didn't start walking until probably like mile 7, but I ran at her pace.
Prepare for a 10-mile run.
Huh?
How do you prepare for a 10-mile run?
I just gotta keep. You gotta
Yeah,
run.
I ran weekly,
Yeah.
and then I kind of conditioned myself to run up 4 miles nonstop, 5 miles nonstop. I never went over 5 miles nonstop, but
Did you have to change your diet?
I did not know.
Okay.
Oh
Well, you already a vegan, so you already eat.
Well, pescatarian.
Oh, so you do eat fish?
Yeah, I do eat fish, but I switched over 2 years ago.
Oh. Okay.
All right. You already all is well. All is well. We're getting ready for the live show coming up on December the 5th. I'm excited about that. So we actually this month dropping the episode that you remember we did it the live show last year. Actually, we about to drop that, and then we also have.
Are we bringing another socialist?
Oh, Lord.
I don't know. We got some. So I think this year I would definitely want to bring another city councilman, but I think I want to get one from like that's because I think he ran and he came short.
Third.
Yeah, third. Yeah. So I think this year we're gonna get someone that's already that's in that position. I think I got some people in mind that I have done stuff with.
Awesome.
So it's gonna be really good this year. It's on December the 5th. I think the last one we had was around December the 3rd.
I mean, there's an openly black gay state senator that I think would be great to, just put that out there.
Okay.
To like, he's a Democrat.
Here in Georgia.
Yeah, in Georgia.
Jamie just had to throw that in there. I'm happy he's a black man.
But yeah. So I guess we can get into the topics. I think the first thing we're gonna open with I don't know if you guys seen the story. What I did, I think T.S. Cherry the Boom. You know, are you familiar with Cherry the Boom?
I am not. I just learned about her today.
Cherry the Boom. She's on Bingo. Even though Cherry, you know Cherry.
She's like an influencer.
Yeah.
She's on Bingo. Like,
Reckless. She always
it's
goes.
that mouth.
Yeah. So if you on Bingo, you popular on Bingo, you have to have a mouth because that's kind of the environment for Bingo. Bingo is they just go and talk shit to each other and get beans and get points and prizes. So, but you got to be a shit talker basically to have a big platform on them.
Okay.
And she's very popular. Also, too, she was on T.S. Madison, so it was great to see both of them together because you have T.S. Madison audience and you have Cherry Boom audience, which of course T.S. Madison audience is a little bigger. But at the same time, they was on there, and the conversation came up about cis women because Cherry is known to be saying cis women is jealous of trans women. So I just thought to myself, I felt like that's a good topic for us to talk about to see if like, do you think that's a thing where black trans women, why do y'all feel like black trans women, a lot of them feel that cis women are jealous of them? Is it because the trans women go to the beyond to be perfect, so sometimes they look way better on the outside as the cis quote on women, or do you think that's really not a thing, that's just something that the trans women make up in their head?
Jamie, I'll let you start.
I am not a trans woman. I'm not a black trans woman. I am not a woman. I don't believe. So I'm gonna preface this by saying that, but I also believe that historically that kind of has been a thing, right? But again, I'm not a trans woman, right? But I want to feel like we're kind of getting away. We have kind of gotten away from that. But I can see how trans women would feel that because, I mean, a lot of trans women I've seen in my life, they do kind of put some of the cis women, to shame when it comes to looks. Trans women always have to like be on top of their stuff, and so their hair is always laid, their face is always done, I'm speaking generally, and they seem to be more put together, and so I can see how a black woman, a black cis woman, would be like, "Oh, girl, how dare you? Like, you're not even real," whatever that means.
Yeah. So you think it's a thing?
I think I could see how it could be a thing. Again, I'm not a black trans woman, but I think historically that has been a thing.
How you feel about that?
I do think it's a thing, but I think it's a small percentage. I don't think women really care about what trans women are doing. The majority of women. So I'm gonna go back to something you mentioned. I do think what you say her name is Cherry Blossom.
Cherry
Bloom,
Cherry Bloom.
boom, cherry the boom.
Cherry the Boom.
The Boom.
Cherry
Okay.
Blossom.
So one thing I will repeat that you said correctly, reckless. I don't see how females could be jealous of trans women.
Are you saying it because they are female? They have the
Yeah,
vagina,
they
the
have
titty,
that.
they can have children. All
Yeah,
that.
I don't see how they could be jealous. And I hate to say this, and hopefully it's not offensive. I think if anything, it's some trans that are actually jealous of females, and it's because they are females. I think it's the other way around. And Miss Boom, I'll say, I think her and T.S. Madison should put the mirror in their face. I think they are doing. They are really expressing, their own insecurities and trying to project that on females. Females have nothing to be jealous of trans women about because they're trans women. I'm not gonna worry about a trans man. I'm not gonna worry about no trans man. I'm a man.
I don't feel like trans women want to be cisgender women.
Think about what you just said. You don't think trans women want to be cisgender women?
Yeah.
Trans women are biological men who are transitioning to be women. That is wanting to be a woman.
No. I don't think that is. I think we're missing the point. I feel like trans women who are trans women want to be trans women. I don't think they want to be women in the sense of, oh, I want to have a child. Oh, I want to have a cycle.
And that was one thing that Cherry did point out.
I don't think that's what their goal
I don't know.
is.
I don't know because a lot of them do. Okay, I think that's a good point. But then why do they get offended? Because it's a percentage, not all. Why do they get offended when you call them trans women and if someone wants you to call them a woman? So a lot of them.
I think it's a passing thing. Like in public, because we know how trans women can be perceived in public. A lot of them, if they're not like comfortable in themselves, they will lower their tone when they're speaking, or they would do that high pitched thing with their voice to seem passing. And so for them, it could stem from like a little bit of shame. I don't know.
I think a lot of them do want to be, not a lot, I'm saying. So I think some of them do want to be a woman, right? Some of them are not comfortable with being a trans woman. I think if we celebrate if they celebrate being a woman more, I think that could be a thing because a lot of them honestly do get offended if you keep putting trans woman in personal conversation on their moniker. Anything, they always get offended by that trans word because some of them say I'm a woman. Like when they go get the bottom surgery, they be like, I don't no longer want to be around the gay space because I am a woman now. So they get even more offended if they get the top and the bottom done. So I do think it is a percentage that want to be a woman. They don't want to be a trans woman. But I do think being a trans woman should be celebrated more. What's wrong being a trans woman?
And I think I live in a bubble because I see that in my spaces. I see trans women who are living their lives as trans women and are very expressive that they are trans women and they're proud of that.
I think my question, to a trans woman, what is a woman? Is a woman putting on a wig? Is a woman wearing a dress? Is a woman, nails? What is a woman? And I would ask a trans man, what is a man to you? Because a man to me is not because I have a mustache. It's not because I have a penis. It's more than that.
So what is a man to you? What is a man for you?
What is a man to me?
Yeah, because it's two different things. A man and a male is two different things. So or do you separate this?
I do not separate the two.
You don't
I do think a man is a biological male. So, I don't separate the two. I do understand people who have that conversation. I respect their opinions to have that conversation, but no, I don't separate the two.
So for me, it's a different, because anybody can be a woman, right? Because even trans women are better women than females, because a woman is a social construct. It's a social thing that society have created. The nails, the hair, the wig, and we know a lot of trans women beat females in that department. So it's a lot of trans women that are better women than female.
Well,
Female is based up on sex. If you can have babies and all of that vagina, not even let's take the baby part because all females can't have baby, but if you have all of those function part, whether they work or not, you are considered a female. But that does not make you a woman. Anybody can go out and be a woman if you master that. So that's two different things.
You're talking about presentation.
And that's,
Right, because a
that's-
woman is based upon all of those social constructs that we have said society with our. So it is trans women are better women. I would say this: trans women are better women than females sometimes, most of the time.
That's exactly why you have people like Just Hilarious and a lot of other women who are being very vocal and say some of the things.
But
that
they don't
gay
know the
community-
different though.
They
They
get upset.
And
I don't
it's
think
okay
Just
to-
Hilarious is a good
Right, but it's
example.
okay to have the conversation. But the difference is Just Hilarious don't know where she coming from. If Just Hilarious made a point and said, "I'm a female," you can never be a female. I don't think a lot of people will attack that. What she's saying is the word woman. A woman is a social construct that society have created, and trans women have countless of time mastered that better than females. And
So do
that's
you-
why it's always a competition, because trans women look better as women than female. A female, we give just that. She gonna forever be a female, but that does not make her a great woman.
Okay.
And that's why T.S. Madison is a better woman than Jess. Because T.S. Madison, when you see her, she gonna be dolled up. She's gonna the mannerism. Jess is more of a nigga sometimes. That's
so
the difference.
to answer your question, I think what makes me a male, the fact that I have testicles, the fact that I
Right,
have
that's a
hold on,
male.
the fact that I have a penis, my muscle strength is better than
But
than
that's
a,
the
hold on,
male part,
but
right?
my muscle strength is better than a female. My voice is different than a female. That's what makes me a man. A natural born man, and no offense to trans men, no trans man,
But
whatever.
that's what
no
make you a
trans
male,
man,
though.
no
That
trans
doesn't
man
make you a
will
man.
ever be able to tell me or want to compare to me or even say what it feels like to be a man. And that's no offense, but you can't relate to me. I can't relate to a white person who say, I know what the
But
black
Dante,
experience
I don't know
is.
about that.
You
So
can't do that.
Okay, that's a different thing. That will make
It's
you
the
a
same
man.
thing.
That's what make you a male. That does not what make you a man. A man is a social construct society have created. If a trans man come here and master all of those masculinity better than you, that trans man will be a better man than you, because all of that
Never.
is based up on
Never.
let's go look at the definition of what the word of a man.
I know-
masculinity.
no, I know what-
muscles, right. So if a trans man come and master that better than you, then that trans man is a better man than
What
you.
we're doing is
because that's
we're
a
trying to
sim-
mix words together.
No,
just
no.
because you want to call something, you want to put makeup on it and just call it something different. That's not going to make it its true, authentic self.
But Dante, you said earlier that you combine the two. You don't separate a male and a man, but they are two different things.
It's
Yes or no? Aren't they two different things?
no. I combine the two because a male is going to grow up to be a man.
No, a male can continue to be a male. A male don't grow up to be a man. A male can grow up and be a woman.
Because-
a woman is once
okay.
again a
We could-
social
we could
construct
stick a
that
trans
society.
Excuse me, trans. Just because a trans man, if you might want to put,
It's not
fake
about-
hair,
it's not about
or
that.
go through
If
something, or
let's
you might
look at
want
what's-
to deepen your. Hold on, let me get it
Okay.
out. If you might want to deepen your voice or put on man clothes or all that, I'm sorry, that still will not make you a man. You have every right to call yourself a trans man.
That would not make
but,
you a male. You can be a man
Okay.
though. Two different things.
Okay.
Final thoughts before we get out.
I have no thoughts.
Okay. On that note, guys, we're gonna be right back with more topics on the Black gay perspective.
Time to take a chance to fly, feeling like I'm 10 feet high. Nightmares call, you can't deny. Better find a place to hide.
welcome back to the Black Gay Perspective. That was a very interesting conversation.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so we're
Greg
gonna-
beat me up. He tackled me, actually.
No, I just,
He tackled me.
But some people, a lot of time, do put both. But I just be going. I think even in the just hilarious conversation, a lot of those women just stick to the facts of come from a female. They could. I think trans women will understand it, but it's the fact that they keep on trying to say what a woman can be and what. It's like, no, I'm a better woman than you.
I have to
Look like
agree.
that.
Jamie was right. Jess Hilarious was a very bad example. I should not have said
Not a
that.
good example at all.
That's the, I think that's why they always attack her looks, because a woman is about a look. It's about this, and if you ain't doing it, so that's why they can easily beat her in that.
I mean, and just hilarious is not just like a woman, but anyway.
Yeah, she don't exude. A woman is feminine, and she's not feminine, so she gonna always lose the argument. But I think with the trans women, they lose the argument because sometimes they don't know how to separate the female part from the part. They say, okay, yeah, I am a male, but I'm still a woman. It's a different thing. So the next topic we're going to talk about, guys, let's get into that, which just came out, which is very surprising that even though I think one Obama in office when same-sex marriage became legal.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
under Obama. Okay.
Yes, that
So
was-
the fact that it was like so many years and they still trying to challenge that on a local level, which we refer to the state of Texas, where the Supreme Court there said that judges can rightfully so based upon, I guess,
Sincere beliefs.
Their sincere
Their,
beliefs.
yes, thank you. Their sincere beliefs.
they have a right to turn these couples away
Yeah.
from their marriage. Do you think this should be a conversation when the federal Supreme Court had made this a law?
I don't think it should be a conversation, but I encourage people in the state of Texas. I mean, it's your duty to be involved in the political process to make sure your rights are protected. And if you look in the state of Texas, majority of Texans agree with same-sex marriage. When we talk about the judicial system, I'm not even sure what's up with those 9 justices that did that. And those are Republican justices, unfortunately.
Right, the Supreme Court?
In the Supreme Court of Texas. When they say beliefs can be interpreted many different ways. When you sent the article, I did read that one of the arguments that the justices are saying,
My notes out.
one judge could deny somebody, but the couple can go to another judge. But that's beside the effing point. I mean, at the end of the day, if it's federally passed and the state is acknowledging it, then a judge has a right to fulfill their duty. I might have my issues with some of the things that comes out of the trans community, but if I'm a judge and 2 trans people are standing in front of me wanting to get married, I'm going to do my judicial duty and marry those people. I'm going to put aside my personal beliefs, and that's what justices are doing. So, Texas justices, you guys are failing.
Well, I do think, but I guess the brighter side of things is he's saying that they can or cannot. Like, it's not a thing where they saying that judges cannot marry them. They try and challenge. I think the fact that they give them the room to do it or not, I think that's the good side about it.
That's a positive, but
I don't know if
imagine
that's
if
a
you
good
live in
side.
Brunswick, Georgia, and all the justices in Brunswick, Georgia are saying no. Now that means you have to now travel to
Atlanta.
But the fact that
Atlanta.
the fact that it's the Supreme Court, that means that this most likely they've been trying to challenge this for a while, right?
Right.
Most likely. So therefore, it seemed like Texas, those people that's in leadership are not 100% on board with the federal law of same-sex marriage.
They're not, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to probably go up to the U.S. Supreme Court. It's probably going
Which is
to
also is kind of iffy right now because
because
they,
of
it's been 10 years, as we know, since same-sex marriage was legalized, and so even that is a little scary now because it's not in law, but there is conversation. I don't want to even say consideration, but there's conversation about the same thing on the U.S. Supreme Court as well.
That's true.
But when we think about how we leave certain states like Texas and give them the opportunity to decide this or that, they're most likely going to go against what is best for the state. Even though there are a larger percent of same-sex couples in Texas, if you leave it up to a judge in Texas, and we know what Texas is going through right now, they're going to vote
They're
against
gonna vote
it.
against it most likely. Yeah, but I do think it's got to be some judges there that's obviously agree with same-sex marriage.
I mean, I do think there are some judges that agree with it and probably will not listen to the Supreme
Yeah,
Court's
because I
order.
feel like Texas, we all know Texas is red, but they still have some blue parts in it.
They do.
You know, so.
I mean, I just think it could be challenging for that person who might not be able to have the means to travel to another city.
Okay, that's fair. But like I said, for me,
Getting married is not cheap.
Yeah, I'm looking at the bigger picture. To me, like I said, the fact that it's at the Supreme Court, that means that Texas have been challenges for a while, right? And like Jamie said, we also see on the federal level, they conversation around is these people that allow, some of these judges that Trump put in there, whatever, nominated for the Supreme Court. Although those two, two women and a man, well, one woman and one man, right?
One woman and two males.
Okay, and this conversation around that, like, is they gonna overturn it? Which I don't think they will.
I
But you just never know.
You never know. And to be
But
honest
I
with
just don't think
you,
they will. I think because that will.
I don't think they will. They and it's really hard to even say how the conservative justices are going to really vote. You can put Alito and Justice Thomas to the side. They're always going to be hardcore conservatives. You have the other four. You never know what side they may go to. And honestly, the way how
But is that for accurate purposes? Is that really something they trying to overturn, or they're just conversation around?
that's just conversation.
Okay.
Like they're not trying to overturn it. The media is just trying to hype
Right.
it up.
So I think the deep blue, the people that's very radical, probably making it a headline. I just want to be clear.
And in fairness, Justice Thomas did not help when he mentioned it. I forgot in one.
Oh yeah,
he mentioned
you're
it.
right.
He kind of added to that.
Yeah, I remember that. Like 3 months ago or something. I do remember that article that came out.
Yeah.
But Jamie, what were you gonna say?
I lost it.
But no, I think I get that. I'm surprised that Texas is still trying to challenge it, but I do think the fact that he's saying that they have the right to not do it or do it, I do think it's judges in Texas that they'll do it. And
I
Texas
don't know. I don't have any faith in Texas as a state, to be honest. So
The whole state.
yeah, honestly, I mean,
think
sorry Texans, but
'Cause that's
like
what Jasmine's
politically.
from, right?
Who?
Crockett.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so
not
I
a
think-
who. Don't do that.
So I think it's people there. I think it's I think it.
There, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Representative Jasmine Crockett aside, and I think there's one other guy who's running for Congress there. I mean, there are like politically some like movers and shakers there too.
And I think when she was alive, Sheila Jackson. Right?
Oh yeah.
So we
Yeah,
have,
there's movers and shakers here, so I do take that back. Politically, when it comes to like Texas Supreme Court, I have no faith in them.
Is it all
Even
white
in
people
Georgia, sometimes I don't have any.
I don't
faith.
know if they're all white. The article just said they're all nine Republicans. I will say, let's go to worst case scenario for the U.S. Supreme Court. If the conservative justices do decide anything, I think that they would just send it back to the states and allow each state to make their own determination. However, everybody pause, do not panic, because as I mentioned earlier, the majority of Americans support same-sex marriage.
That is true.
Even in the state of Georgia, the support of same-sex marriage is high. So if it is put down to the states,
But let me ask
the
you
states
this
will
though.
vote on it.
But do you think it's gonna go all the way up to the Supreme Court?
I think it will.
I think it will, especially with the way how Texas is acting right now. It's going
I'm
to be
saying,
challenging.
how would that affect the other states though? Because you're saying that they're gonna send it back to the other state. Want to just deal with Texas stuff?
No.
I'm sorry, I was mixing two issues.
Okay, yeah.
So the Supreme Court, they're going to talk about the 2015
Okay,
ruling.
yeah, rule. Okay, gotcha.
So I was focusing on
okay,
that one.
Focus on, okay, yeah, I was gonna say, okay. So I was talking about the Texas thing. Do you think this case in Texas will go to the Supreme Court?
I do. I think it could make it up to the
Yeah.
Supreme Court. Because there are some people in the conservative movement that, they're very super conservative. They want to challenge gay marriage. They've already done that with abortion.
Exactly.
Texas had its Christian convention, something that was on one of their ballots, was to remove or repeal the 2015 ruling. So there's still talks about it. They're going to try to fight as many years as they can. I'm personally not worried because the number of Americans that support same-sex marriage is high. Even if you ask Republicans, Democrats, and Independents, it is high. And that's probably because, more gay people are coming out. People have gay friends. People have gay family members. People have gay colleagues.
Yeah, that's
you
a
start to
part
look
of
at the
it.
world a little bit
Yeah,
differently.
that's why a part of me, even when I watch a lot of those radical people that's blue, because not Democrats, but more on the liberal side, and they was leading with these headlines about gay marriage could be up in jeopardy. And so I just felt like, I just would hope so, but you never know. But I don't think that these people will actually overturn it on a federal level. Now, I think Texas have always been that state that all will do what they want to do, right? Because they feel like a lot of stuff that they do on the federal level is just not right, don't line with their morals. So Texas have always been that state. So I think it's so much education. If you don't really want to be a part of that type of thing, just move out the state. You know what I mean? I just think it's kind of like that type of thing now, because we all know Texas is going to be forever red in so many ways. It's just not going to really change.
I wish Georgia was forever red.
Yeah. But on that note, guys, we'll be back with more topics on the Black Gay perspective. Thank you.
I forgot this was nonpartisan. Is it? I don't know.
Welcome back to the Black Gay Perspective. That was a good topic, guys. Let's get into this other topic. I think it's going to take some time. So it's two-part to this thing I want to talk about, right? The Supreme Court, which I'm very, I guess I'm not surprised because of the people that's in there now, right? They're very skeptical of banning conversion therapy. Why do y'all think that they're very skeptical of it? And then we also have a case of, how do y'all feel about that? Do you feel like we should still have that around in today's society? Is it something that works? Because you have testimonies from people that said, I was gay, I went to conversion therapy in some form, and now I'm not gay and I'm living my best life. And then you have stories where people said it was the worst thing that ever happened to them. So what is your thoughts of our thoughts about the Supreme Court feeling skeptical of banning it all across the board?
So I don't think we should ban any form of therapy. I don't think any form of therapy should be physical or harm somebody. So I want to put that point out. But if somebody needs to go to any form of therapist to talk about, whatever, I think it should have that outlet.
But I think that's different from conversion therapy, right?
Well, I think if somebody wants to go talk to a therapist because, they're questioning their sexuality, you should be able, that profession.
But is that conversion therapy? I thought conversion therapy is to change you from being gay, right?
You haven't let me get my thought out.
Okay.
I haven't gotten there yet. But if you go to that licensed profession and that professional is now, converting you or telling you, to think differently about your sexuality, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's the whole point of a therapist, is for you to go there and voice and talk. Now, you mentioned an example earlier. If it's a child and they don't want to go, then hey, you're still a minor. You have to do what your parents say. I don't think we should be banning that, but I don't think it should be causing harm to people or putting people in electric chairs or doing all that extreme stuff that they used to do. That's my personal opinion when it comes to conversion therapy. I don't think we should be banning it, but I don't think we should be trying to harm people at the same time.
It's just interesting how you address that question, the response of first of all, any type of therapy, but I think for conversion therapy, to be clear, people, the whole purpose is to take a gay person and not make him gay, right? So it's just not like a therapy, right? That's kind of what I want to be clear.
It is a therapy.
It is a therapy.
It is a therapy, but this is a conversion therapy. It's not like you just go into a therapy and just say, I want to talk about my feelings. Okay. You're going there
I will put the word conversion in there,
right,
because it's still a conversion.
Because it's different when I'm just going to a therapist to say I want to express myself. But if I'm going there for the intentions of, or my parents put me in there for the intentions of to change who I am, that's a whole different conversation. You will agree, right?
I don't know if that's conversion therapy.
That is conversion therapy.
I mean, by definition, sure, but I feel like I don't know. I feel a little different because, again, I'm thinking about the child. I'm thinking about the trauma that can, ensue after that. My mom is putting me in this place as a child. I don't want to be in this place, but I have to be in this place because I'm a minor, etc. Now I'm screwed for the rest of my life because this may or may not be something I want to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get your point. But no, that's kind of what I'm saying. I'm in agreement with that. What I'm saying is, it was just interesting how he dressed it up to me.
Well,
It probably wasn't intentional.
Wait, I'm sorry that I didn't use conversion before therapy,
Because
but that's exactly what I'm talking about. So anytime you go sit to a licensed professional and talk to them, a licensed therapist that is going through some form of therapy. But if you want me to say that
you
the
can
person,
say how you want to.
if you want me to say that the person
how
is
you
going
said it
there
to me.
because they're going to convert from straight to gay or gay to straight, then yes, I'm happy to make Greg feel good and say that.
No, I'm just saying because I think to me it was just interesting because I think the Supreme Court is not looking at a case to say, to me, I could be totally wrong.
You know we're talking about the same thing, right?
I know we talk about what I'm saying, but I think it's important for us to say conversion therapy because when a person intentionally
But we are talking about conversion therapy.
Right, we are, but I'm going back to how you open it up. You was like, therapy was this. And I'm just like, okay, well, no one is in offense.
Let me activate my Virgo. We can move on.
No, he's saying, Greg is saying that, and I get what your point. Therapy is one thing. Conversion therapy is a different thing.
Totally
Yes, they are both a form of therapy, but we're talking about this form of therapy.
Yeah.
We can agree to disagree and move on.
Yeah.
I've already moved on.
I actually agree with you.
I know, but we can move on. If I have to say conversion therapy, we can move on.
No, you don't have to. It was just
I thought that's what we opened up with.
Yeah.
But our
got you.
education system.
Yeah.
It's the Donald Trump weave.
No, it was just interesting. But no, so I think that was the whole thing. Like, for me, again, I think it's just totally different if you send your child somewhere because you saying you are gay or you have these traits or whatever mannerism, and I'm going to put you in this process to change over. And then you have people that said it was the best thing of my life that's grown and go there. And then we have people that say it was the worst thing. So I think it's only fair to make it available. And if someone decides to go, then they decide to go.
I don't.
Because I don't think that Supreme Court should knock it all the way down, and I don't think they should necessarily endorse it. To me, it should be available. Because what about the people that said it have helped them? What about the people that said it harmed them? So therefore, to me, it should be available to whoever want to access it.
I don't believe in conversion therapy. I don't.
But what would you tell the people that said that it was the best thing that happened to them? So I think it should be available because some people say it have changed their life, and some people say it hasn't. Right? So
I think there's a larger percent of people who went to conversion therapy and have been screwed up as adults. I feel like people suffer from trauma from conversion therapy. I think people take those who've gone through it and it's been impacted them negatively. If they have kids, they might have tried to put their kids through that and have them suffer that same trauma. I've seen more horror stories about people who've gone through conversion therapy and it impacted them negatively than people who are like, oh, this is the best thing ever. No.
Well, I don't think they say the best thing ever.
I'm exaggerating, but I feel
Yeah. I don't know, because I do think it do fall under what I think Dante, I remember you mentioning what we was talking about earlier. It do fall under a religious perspective as well, and we know that the state and the church is separated. So we should let those people that's in the church or have religion believe to be open to do those things. So that's why I feel like the Supreme Court shouldn't shut it down. At the same time, I don't know if they should be endorsing it as well.
I don't think they should be endorsing it.
I mean, to the religious point. I mean, again, I think that speaks back to trauma too, because then that goes to the whole like pray the gay away kind of.
But the fact that we in America we have state and religion separate, even if religion sound crazy as hell to that person still have a right to do that. You know what I mean?
We live in Georgia. Church and state are not separate.
I'm saying on the federal level it's supposed to be,
and Georgia is not.
But that's why some people are able to get away with certain things because I think we was reading the notes where somebody was saying and mentioned about because people religion have a right. That's one of our constitutional right, is to be able to worship or praise any gods and all that type of stuff. Therefore, that could come with me not believing in the gay lifestyle.
Yeah.
I do have a question. How can some people be in support of gender affirming care and not in support of conversion
What you mean
therapy?
by
Because they're both some form of therapy in some form
so
of
you
fashion.
mean like okay, which part of the gender affirming care you talking about, like trans surgery and stuff?
Well, before they even get to the surgery or the puberty blockers, they have to speak to a therapist. So, what is the difference between both avenues?
I think both of them is on a separate avenue, right? Because when you go to conversion therapy, you're saying this lifestyle shouldn't be. When you go to that therapy to become the opposite sex or whatever, you're basically affirming that the opposite to become that. So I see both of them as the opposite, right? Or you see both of them the same?
I see
Because,
both of them the exact same. I think it's a therapist in some form or fashion speaking to
Right.
a
So one
client
is reaffirming your transition. One is saying that you shouldn't be this way.
and those are two perspectives coming from
Right.
two exactly, and that's what the Supreme Court is talking about when they talk about free speech. You have two therapists having a freedom
So are
of
you saying
speech.
both of them should be able to do it if we give the conversion therapy?
Exactly.
I'm in agreement with
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I'm in agreement.
I'm not.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is both of them should have. If they saying that if they skeptical about eliminate the conversion therapy, then leave the people that's going for
Gender affirming care.
care. Yeah.
Because Jamie, the same thing that you said about the horror stories, there are also people on the other side has mentioned horror stories of going through
Going to transition. That's
That's
true
a
too. Yeah.
good point. That is a good point.
It's just one of those things I think should be available. I think to make it a certain thing, maybe we should put a age limit on it. Meaning like you can't start transition or you can't start put them in conversion therapy until they 17 or 16. I think that could be a more respectable thing.
I don't. I think anybody should be able to go to therapy so they can, have a way to express themselves. So things
No,
aren't
not
keep
therapy,
locked
but
up.
I'm saying conversion and reaffirming stuff. Like
Again, we're simply talking about conversion, but I will use the word conversion.
No,
because when I say therapy, he's actually thinking I'm talking about,
Okay,
you're going to talk about relationships, and no, I'm not. I'm talking about conversion.
Right, but what I'm saying though, do you think that a child should go to therapy, let's say reaffirming care therapy, and start talking about their transition at a certain age, or you think there should be an age limit?
I think it should be an age limit for that.
Yeah, so we in agreement. That's what I mean.
I thought you meant, but if you're talking about conversion therapy, no, I don't think there should be an age limit for that.
You said they were the same thing.
I said the same thing, but
he's saying they same thing. If Supreme Court okay with one, they should be okay with the other one.
but with both practices.
Practices.
But if you're talking about gender affirming care, does go a step further, and it goes a step further by somebody
changing something.
because you're changing something. The other one is more so kind of restrictive.
I think it should.
It changed something too mentally.
If there's
Depending on how we
if there's an age limit, I do think if we're going to go that route, let's say 17 and there's somebody 13 that wants to go through either avenue.
Either or, yeah.
They should. I mean, the parents should be right there.
Yeah.
Because I mean, let's go to conversion
Well,
therapy route.
No,
let's go to conversion
that's
therapy
fair.
route.
The parents step in if they at 13 or 14.
No, I agree with what Jamie was saying. I just said the well part because there are some states that are trying to find their ways around the parents being included in those conversations. I agree with the parents should be part of that conversation the entire time, but Minnesota is a state that was trying to skirt its way around parents being involved in certain conversations when it came to gender affirming care.
No, I think to be on the right side of things, we should have age limits on both. Because for you saying conversion, it should have an age limit.
No, I don't think so.
But I think to be fair to both practices, we should put an age limit on both. You see what I'm saying? Just to be fair. And if they want to do that at a time, to me, that's when the parents step in.
Yeah.
And just before we go, why not conversion therapy should have an age limit from your perspective? Why do you think they should have an age limit?
Because I'm thinking about, I'm not thinking about the person who is being forced by their parents to go. I'm thinking about somebody that's actually questioning their sexuality, like genuinely deciding, like, do I want to go one way or another? That's like the majority of some men and women. They actually struggle with that question, going through middle school and high school. So I do think they should have an outlet. Hold on, let me get out. if you let me get it out, I'm gonna get to you. I do think if they are having someone to have a conversation with, I don't think conversion therapy should force somebody to go around. Just because you go to therapy don't mean you have to listen to everything that therapists say. You can go there, have a conversation, talk about the battles that you might be having. You take away from that and have a conversation with yourself. What path should I take? And be honest with yourself. You can't say you want to be straight, still fantasizing about men.
I think we're gonna
But what if they like 9 or 10?
What they not?
Yeah. What would you say about that?
Where we on it?
Wait,
What's
what?
the age in there?
Because I'm saying, if a 9 or 10-year-old, because you say it shouldn't have an age limit, so I'm asking you, what age limit you think it should be for them to go? Are you open with at whatever age?
For conversion therapy, I'm open for whatever age.
So like 6 or 7 or 9 or 10?
If they're 6 or 7 and a parent is there with them, yeah. And again, I don't think extreme methods should be used. I don't think you should be trying to. I'm not sure what the medical tools called, but I don't think you should be putting that on a child's head or putting them in
kids
water. Or
struggling with that at 6 or 7?
I just said no age limit. He said 6 or
Yeah,
7.
said-
I don't think anybody is thinking about at that age
Yeah.
limit. But I don't think there should.
Yeah,
be
I
a
only say
restriction
that
on
because it should be an age limit on reaffirming care, but that one, but then you open to the other. I'm just curious.
But I agree. So thinking back on Dante's point, yes, gender reaffirming care. I do believe there should be an age limit because there are levels to gender affirming care, right?
I agree.
But when we're talking about conversion therapy and not being an age limit, I don't think that I don't think it should be an age limit on it either. Now I think about it.
Are y'all thinking about like a Catholic priest coming there like
Yes,
beating them?
absolutely.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
That's where my mind
okay.
is going.
No.
I mean, I don't think there should be any extreme methods to harm somebody, physically harm somebody. So I think that should be banned
Yeah.
if anybody's thinking about that type of conversion therapy.
No, I'm just thinking about both of them could be harmful in a way of if you a child and you say that I want to transition, and we start that, let's say I'm a progressive parent, I start that process, you 9 or 10. I think that could be dangerous. I also think it could be dangerous if you're a child and you say I'm gay, and then your parents say I want to put you in conversion therapy because there's no such thing as being gay. You are the devil, use all that type of language, and then they put you through that process. That can also be damaging on a mental thing. So that's why I think an age limit should be required to even start it, because you got to think about the whole purpose of conversion therapy is to basically say that you're not of taking a gay person and making them straight. That's the whole purpose of it. So if that's the theology, that's the language that you use to your 9-year-old or 10-year-old to say you're not like this, you living in sin, that can be as dangerous as you going and sign your child up for surgery as 9-year-old. That's the point I'm making.
Well, one, I think a lot of us have already handled conversion therapy throughout our life, even though it has not been in form of a therapist. We have battled society in many different forms, whether it was from our family, friends, church. We've been forced in conversion therapy in many different corners, but somehow we managed through it. And again, I don't think there should be an age restriction to it, because the wise person is going to be able to navigate and come out on top and look at it and be a better person. There are some people that's going to struggle from it.
A lot of people, because everybody, so that's the whole purpose of putting laws in place, because everybody is not wise. But if we have a law in place, it's going to keep everybody safe, because even the people that's not wise are going to be safe versus the person that can be wise and can cipher through those decisions. So that's the whole purpose of putting it in place, because everybody's not going to be able to do that. Because like I said, for me, it can be as dangerous for me to sign my child up for trans surgery at 9-year-old, as well as sign them up intentionally. It's different. You go to church, you go home, and you like you said, and that's a good point. Based upon Black society, of course, we all part of that. If we look at it, like you said, church, family, get together. Somebody always saying something about a sin to be gay in some form or fashion, whether it's directly or whatever. But it's totally different if you sign up your child and say, I'm going to put you in this process, go to school, because they got schools, they got like a whole thing of it is where you go to that. It's a different conversation when you say I'm signing you up for this versus saying you're not going to be gay in my house. And then you got to also think about taxpayer dollars. 9 out of 10, because these are federal funding programs. Do taxpayers want to be paying that money to be saying that we want to support these type of things? Everybody don't want their tax dollar to go towards these type of programs. So I think if it's going to be,
I definitely don't want my tax dollars going to it. I think if you need a therapist, you can use your own money for it.
right, but I'm sure if we
No
look, I'm
offense.
sure you look in a lot of the red states, I'm sure they give those conversion programs some money on a federal level or on the state level. I'm about sure about that. It's red states.
I cannot confirm nor deny, but I would tell you my position is I think if you need a therapist, you can use either your own health insurance or your own money. You should not use taxpayer dollars to help your needs.
I guess
Let's
my
not pull your What about your bootstraps
my
mentality?
point is more so not. We gotta really take a break. But what I'm saying is, our age limit should be on both sides to be safe. It should be an age limit for conversion therapy, and it should be an age limit for transition. That whole process as well, because both of them can be damaging. Because in the end, you can agree with it. In the end, you can say this is the worst thing that happened to me. But if a child is a certain age and different thing, I feel like it'll be less regret. Because some people, and we do know some parents that do take their child to conversion therapy at 9 or 10 years old, especially when they have the money.
Yeah.
You know, a wealthy Christian family.
Or not even just have the money, might take them to the church.
Right,
Well-
and they can have their own conversion. That's a bad point. So,
Well, yeah.
all right. On that note, guys,
Hopefully that was positive.
Yeah. On that note, guys, we're gonna be back with more of the Black gay perspective. Yeah.
Welcome back to Bama. Alabama isn't just known for its pivotal role in the civil rights movement. Its rich farming roots are Southern traditions like soul food. We're also celebrated for our fierce, passionate college football culture. And now we're making space for something just as powerful. Strong Black trans women and gay men thriving in their relationships, careers, friendships, and beyond.
Time to take a chance to fly, feeling like something high. Nightmares call, you can't deny. Better find a place to hide.
Welcome back to the Black Gay Perspective. We got one more topic before we get up out of here. So what did you guys think about, which I want to end this on a positive note. I feel like something we can all agree on. The ex-football player, he did a camp this summer. Of course, we out of summer now, but it was about 3 months ago. And he, I think probably one of the first ones as far as getting this type of recognition for where he actually opened it up for LGBTQ. So what do y'all think about that, and what's your thoughts about that?
I'm actually excited for it. I think it's good. It keeps the kids off the street. You know, playing in sports teach you about leadership, teamwork, responsibilities. I'm excited for it. I hope the youth in St. Louis actually take advantage of this opportunity. Even the trans people that are being denied the option to play sports, I hope they take advantage of it so they can master their craft too. So I'm actually, I think it's really good.
I'm excited for it too. I mean, I'm not a big sports fanatic or anything like that, but I feel like if there is an arena or a space to where people who are identify as LGBTQ can come and be excited to play any sport of any kind, it's always going to be a good thing. Because historically there's been like stigma around like even girls being on the boys team and things like that. So I think this is a really good thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I think just also too for him to be on that level, that magnitude to do that, because I think also too it's important to understand like people that's in the LGBT community can play football. It's just not a man's. It's not a man's sport. It's a sport that people play, right? Because I think sometimes you just because of the cultural and society, we associate all that with what men do, but it's a sport at the end of the day.
Right, it's
You know
a
what I mean?
sport like.
So it brings to me back just the sports part of it, because I think even when we was watching it, he had some girls there.
He had some
And
girls
some
there.
girls said the good thing about it that she got other girls there. So I think it just make it a sport again versus this whole macho masculine, which is part of it. But I feel like at the end of the day, a sport is a sport. It have no gender to it. So I definitely think that was a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, gay people are good at sports. I mean, we might not be advertised as much, and unfortunately, some professionals will wait till they're retired before they want to come out. But I mean, gay people excel in a lot of things. When you talk about sports, fashion, business,
Life.
Credit, getting a house, a family stable. I mean, there's a lot of things that we check off on. But all around, I'm actually happy that this is happening in St. Louis. I wish other professional football players follow in his league. One thing I like about this is it's not the government doing this. This is actually a private individual who wanted to step up. I'm pretty sure he got financing from somewhere, so private companies giving money. That's what it's all really about. It's the community doing it. Start relying on the government for everything.
I like that he, was inspired by his brother who was gay to do this.
Shout out to the brother.
Yeah, and when we were watching the video, one thing I did notice within this camp, there were a lot of parents there too, supporting their children in this. And so to me, that was a beautiful thing. So I'm excited about this.
Can I pick up on that?
Yeah.
That is beautiful because parents who probably had a hard time accepting their child's sexuality, that sports can bring them together.
Yeah, and I think also too, I think somebody used to say all the time, and I think we watched a lot of the old, they was like, a lot of times your parents do not want you to be gay because they feel like you was limited to opportunities, you was limited to different things. So the fact that you have these men on this level with this notoriety, it's like, okay, my son can still really be a part, because a lot of time back in the day, or we seen like in the 80s and 90s, a lot of your parents will say, I'm doing this to protect you, because they knew to be gay or to be openly gay, it came with so much, and it also felt like opportunities were limited. So the fact that this man that actually played in the NFL, part of the and they child a part of that camp, I think it kind of like eliminates that. Because a lot of times that be the hold up. It's not a lot of times that they might not be as disagreed. They feel like it's gonna be a handicap for you in some way, whether it's the way people see you and something like that. So I do think.
No, you're right, because the way how people used to look at being gay is you're gay, you're feminine. Gay people come in many different colors. You can pick whatever type you might get, but not all gay people are super flamboyant. Not saying there's anything wrong with those brothers and sisters that are.
On that note, guys, we're gonna be back with more of the Black gay perspective.
What makes my life real?
What makes my life real?
What make my life real?
What makes me a regular person
Is the fact that I'm ubiquitous in this grind, so you cannot miss me.
I want to live, love, laugh, and learn just like the next person.
when you cut me, I bleed.
Making boss move,
I have feelings and emotions just like any other human being.
And that I work hard.
being independent.
I've been through some things.
I've done the work that it takes to get where I am today.
I love a good look. I love a good outfit. Living in my truth 24/7.
And I only speak reality, and I only speak truth.
And at the end of the day, I really just want to put people on.
We live just like anybody else.
That's what made my life real.
What makes my life relentless?
What makes my life relentless?
What makes my story relentless?
What makes my life story relentless?
What makes my life story relentless? Because no matter what chapter in my life,
I stand for good. I stand for people that are standing in the dark.
My drive to actually be the change in the world that I want to see.
I take punch after punch.
To have a voice, to be heard, to be seen.
no matter how many rounds I go through in life, I have remained undefeated and self-made.
I create spaces by cultivating, motivating, and inspiring those around me.
And I still come out on top.
I'm still the champion.
Welcome back to the Black Gay Perspective. What's up, guys? How y'all feeling?
I'm
Feeling good.
I think we had some really good conversations today.
Yeah, what did
We
y'all
missed
think
the
about
doll.
topics?
We do miss the doll, Misha.
She will be back at, we will do the live show on December the 5th, downtown Atlanta at the Space venue. So yeah, she'll be there with a live show. So we'll have some live guests there, like, you know, like we had the audience, but then this time we're gonna have, like, I guess more people we're gonna interview. I definitely want to get somebody in that's in office and politics. I do think since the show's about politics, we should always bring someone in live for that. But then also some other stuff. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Please make sure you download this app called Ground News. And what's good about Ground News? Ground News will tell you. Oh, you heard about it?
Yeah.
Ground News will tell you if the article is written more liberal or more conservative. So you know where the source is coming from, and it helps you kind of decipher. Well, is this something I should really look more into, or is this kind of partisan?
I think Candace Owen promote that. It's somebody I watch on YouTube promote that. 'Cause they say they like it because it do tell you if they biased or not. Okay, yeah. It was on either Pierre Morgan or Candace Owen that been promoting this as well.
Yeah. Misha, I'm sorry you couldn't be here. I wanted to really ask you about your new reality show and who stole your perfume, but you know, unfortunately.
I'm sure you ask that. We'll be able to ask at the live show.
That's funny.
Final thoughts, Jamie?
Final thoughts. I am a male who identifies as a woman, and I should be entitled to all my rights. I want to marry who I want to marry. Love is love. And that is my Black Gay perspective, okay?
Well,
Greg?
I enjoyed this, Misha. We miss you.
Yes.
I'm sure she'll be joining us for the next live show, which will be the next one on December the 5th. And other than that, guys, thank you guys so much. And we out. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to Real Life Reality.
Yes.
All things Real Life Reality.
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace, love, and hair grease.
Thank you, guys.